If you take this verse in isolation, you'll never be able to get the true meaning. When you take the totality of the guidance, then you know Allah is not speaking of all Christians. No. And He's not speaking of all Jews. No. He is saying that there will come a time when there will be what I describe as a mysterious reconciliation between some Jews and some Christians. And a mysterious alliance will emerge. When that Jewish-Christian alliance emerges, do not take such Jews and such Christians as your friends and allies, who themselves are friends and allies of each other. This is the understanding of the verse that you will arrive at when you take the totality of the guidance. And whosoever from amongst you turns to them, that Jewish-Christian alliance which emerged in Europe and which gave to the world modern Western civilization with its epistemological secularism, of which Maulana Siddiq had just spoken. Whosoever turns to them, belong to them, because you will be absorbed in that godless melting pot. And Allah will not provide guidance for a people who commit such acts of dhulm. So that's the way we respond to the last question. It's now 3 minutes to 3. One more question before we have the last session. Sisters, no question. Handel, thank you very much. Okay. Our sister from Australia. No, she's from Afghanistan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Maulana, question is about our children. Given that the education institutions around the world are controlled and governed by the government, and including Islamic schools, can you give us some guidelines on how to raise our children? And until we find a Muslim village to move to, before this Muslim village is ready, do you recommend homeschooling? Thank you.
In Canada, I got information from Canadian Muslims that the Canadian government is now making it obligatory law. Every school in Canada, including religious schools, are now obliged by law to teach that homosexuality is an acceptable mode of sexual conduct. Yes, the law says so. And Allah in the Quran has commanded, Ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Protect yourselves and protect your families from the fire. If that is what it is today, let me tell you what tomorrow is going to be like. How do I know? Because Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam told us. When you see women dressed and yet naked, you must know what tomorrow has in store for you. When you see women dressed like men and men dressed like women, let me not say any more, I might get in trouble. You must know what tomorrow has in store for you. When you see riba all around you, to such extent that no one can escape riba. And if anyone were to say that he is free from riba, verily the dust of riba is upon him. Verily the vapor of riba is upon him. When you see these things around you, you must know what tomorrow holds in store. He said that holding on to Islam will be like holding on to hot coals. Did he not say that? So if you want to listen to patter cake baker's man, which unfortunately is what they have to do now to survive as imams, to get their salaries. That's it. That's it. To get your salary and to hold on to your green card, you have to become patter cake baker's man. I left the United States. And here in Trinidad, I have the freedom to say that what I could never say in New York. If you remain in a society in which all of these things are appearing, then remember tomorrow what's going to happen. He said that people are going to be having sexual intercourse in public like donkeys. Do you want your children to grow up with that around it? What you have to do is to turn away from areas of greater insecurity. What kind of insecurity am I talking about? The insecurity about your house when you lock it? No! I'm talking about the insecurity of what is inside of you. If you live in areas of greater insecurity, turn away from them and move to areas of greater security. Security meaning security for what resides within the heart. If it looks like heaven, get out of there. Get out of there. And go to somewhere that looks like hell. Because the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that the road to heaven will be made to look like the road to hell. You know it. You've heard the hadith. And the road to hell will be made to look like the road to heaven. So get out of the countries which look like heaven. I don't need to call any names. You got to go back home, some of you. And move to the countries that look like hell. But even in the countries look like hell, there are areas which look like heaven, like downtown Zamalek, where the affluent suburbs of Cairo, or in Jakarta. The rest of Jakarta looks like hell, but this little suburb, like heaven. So turn away, even within a country which looks like hell. Turn away from those areas which look like heaven. My suggestion has always been, and my advice has always been, search the countryside, the remote countryside. And don't move to the countryside by yourself alone. Try to get others to come with you. Keep a low profile. Have small villages. And in those villages, strive and struggle. Strive and struggle to recover the guidance of Islam that you live it. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا. And if you make the effort, Allah will help you. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Allah will help you. And that's, time is up.
My dear brothers and sisters, that's not the end. We still have a ways to go for this afternoon's program. You can use just a couple of minutes to stretch your legs if you'd like, and perhaps get something to drink, some refreshment. Just about 5 minutes, inshallah, no more than that. And when we